I mean, you are very much tempting fate by doing this while you should be more or less, trying to recover.
Yeah.
I really, really, really should.
Now, this secret area right here doesn't lead to anywhere specifically. It's just here for the sake of getting this extra treasure.
Okay.
At the very least, this one's not quite as devious as the one we did in the first level, but it's a lot longer though.
Yeah,
Because they just tease you with that thing right off the bat, and then once you actually, start to actually make progress in here.
Oh, the key is all the way. The key is all the way at the end, isn't it?
Kind of. It's
basically.
It's a little this level's a little labyrinthine.
Oh no! Great cave offensive.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, just like that, there's the exit. You want to just leave right then and there.
We can't do that. Think of the children.
What have children done for me?
Feed the birds. Feed the birds.
Oh my god.
Breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs from a back.
I mean, when you think... Is it weird that I can actually see Wario doing that unironically?
I can see it's like his best kept secret is that he actually has a fondness for his pet bird.
Right. It's going to be more prevalent in Wario Land 2, but he's also sort of a chicken farmer.
You see, Logan, Wario respects
nothing.
Excuse me?
I was like, don't you be starting nothing.
I'm just saying, Wario respects it. Why don't you?
Because he thinks it's a little chicken feed.
I just never understood it.
Well, a celebrity endorses it, so that, therefore, by proxy, you should be okay with it.
Presidential candidate Wario, what do you think about chicken feed stories?
I believe that chickening is a respected and fine profession, and if you disagree, well, then you're just gonna have to not consider yourself an American anymore.
You're going to have to speak with my Secretary of the Interior, my big fat fist.
You'll have to speak with my secretary of defense, and my... What would the other one? What would the other fist be?
And my very good friend, the Rear Admiral.
Rear Admiral? No, the Rear Admiral would be his rear.
I should have been promoted to... What was it?
I should have been promoted to Staff Sergeant Bear ages ago. He's took the one thing that I've loved and turned it against me.
Sorry. Sorry, we're just...
And when all else fails, use your head.
Hey! Sorry, but I'm a little loopy today.
We all are. I mean, again, we just came off of the very last Mr. Sakurai presentation, so it's like naturally we'd be a little out of it after the fact.
We need the water to be turned on.
Yeah, it's like, granted, for some of us, it's for varying reasons, but ultimately, yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine, and though I will say I don't know if we should have everybody there for the highlight.
Well, I don't really expect everyone to be there. Like, Allie pretty much outright said that she's a little mixed on the idea. Not that I expected her to be there to begin with.
To be fair, she was only mixed on the idea because she's not sure if she wants to be within a big crowd, which the more I stop and think about it, it's probably not going to be as big as I pictured it being, considering like a good handful of us lost our shit at the notion.
It'll likely be Dax, Hype, you, me, Matt,
and Matt.
Jordy,
yeah, like Matt
possibly.
Specific. Well, Jordan said if push comes to shove, she wouldn't mind missing it.
Okay, but yeah, I know Matt definitely is wanting to be there because it's such a big thing, and I know Dax definitely wants to be there because he had a lot of fun with our previous session. And I mean, yeah, he is just about as big of a fan of the series as I am.
Ooh.
The Piston Cup.
Yes,
I earned this trophy fair and square.
Also, yes, I was thinking back to freaking.
He did what in his cup?
Cars
it's a
one
jump
is
joke, but
go ahead.
I was just
Actually,
thinking,
now that I think about it in retrospect, I could just leave out the front door now if I really wanted to.
would it count
Where's
as you
the fun
being,
in that?
I was about to say, would that still count as you being the level?
Not really. No, you just exit out of the level. I mean, you'll still get to keep the treasure, but if you do go out the front door, you don't get to do the bonus games.
Okay,
well, that's fair.
And I mean, granted, if I want to at least reach that final cap, I do want to try to at least go for broke.
I think so. We're keeping up so far. But yeah, you were saying Hype.
I forgot.
Oh, about the Piston Cup thing.
Oh, that's Honestly, I feel like I don't need to go further into that conversation.
I was just gonna say that I think Cars 2 is dumb, absolutely.
Ow.
But I think Cars 1 is like, it's not horrible. It just, I know. I know a
Cars
lot of
1
people-
is perfectly harmless,
Nice.
in my opinion.
But I know a lot of people were upset about it because they looked at it going, "Oh, it's not deep, it's not thought-provoking." I'm like, does it need?
Well, the only reason that they feel that way is because think of the two films that came before and after Cars. Beforehand, we had The Incredibles, and after Cars, we had Ratatouille.
That is true. They were very good. I very much enjoy Ratatouille. It's probably my favorite Pixar.
Yeah, what's funny is that, like, it's also Shea Frillis's, because I've been kind of, like, on a semi-binge watching his stuff, and he had, like, an hour-long presentation talking about how, like, Ratatouille is basically Pixar's magnum opus.
It kind of is.
I don't know if I say magnum opus, but I did very much enjoy it, and it is freaking, oh god, what's the name of the director of Incredibles again?
Brad Bird, who also was Ratatouille.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Brad Bird definitely, like, showed off. So I wonder what he's been doing recently.
Well, I'm trying to think. Aside from Incredibles 2, I don't know what his most recent stuff is. I know he dabbled a little bit into live-action stuff.
I'll look it up. Let's see. Brad Bird, who was Edna Mode, fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still funny to me.
He pulled it off really well, too. I had no idea that was a man.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you'd be surprised what directors
honestly,
will do if they're in the mood to actually voice a character. I mean, look at C.H. Greenblatt and his Boo Boo impression.
Honestly, you say you didn't know it was a man. At first I didn't know Edna was a woman.
Fair.
I mean, he does kind of, she did look very androgynous.
Edna Mode. But actually no, this is actually really interesting. So I'm looking at here, like, he actually began as an 2D animator for Fox and the Hound and Black Cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that early on.
He let's see, he wrote the screenplay for Batteries Not Included. Never saw that shorter movie, and then
That sounds like one of the Pixar shorts.
he directed The Iron Giant.
Yep.
That's probably like his biggest claim to fame aside from The Incredibles.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol was really fun, and that was a live-action movie he did. He also did Tomorrowland, which was greatly more, like, divisive.
Yeah. I imagine that had more to do with, like, executive mailing than whatever Brad was doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Someday, I'm gonna actually have someday I need to actually outright ban 10-ton rates.
Oh, no,
But for some reason, I keep forgetting to do so.
And he was, oh my god, I thought it was all improv, but he was the one who wrote the dialogue for Mr. Incredible and Frozone commentating over the Mr. Incredible and Pals show.
Yeah, you know what? I want to say it was probably half and half in that aspect, because I feel like that there's some parts that are too good not to have been improvised.
A thought just occurred to me all of a sudden. Something we could do for the future if we ever wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Does, what was it, Return of the Underminer have co-op?
I want to say it does.
I'll look that up real quick, but while I do that, I'm gonna be right back.
Granted, we would have to show something off for the original game, but I mean, that would be something that might, just to get on that tangent.
Yeah, it'd be funny. I mean, I'm sure it's worth showing off. Give the Underminers some much-needed screen time. Some people would argue give them a better sense of screen time than Incredibles 2 did.
It kind of just came and went when you really think about it. Actually, well, you know what, I say that. I still haven't gone out of my way to watch Incredibles 2. Like, after all, after what everyone said, it wasn't all that, like, urged to do so.
I'll say that, because I've had a little bit more time to stew on it, I will say it's not as good as the first one. I'll concede to that. I still don't think it's quite as bad as most people make it out to be. I think it's still a perfectly serviceable film.
I think part of the problem is that it had the unfortunate of literally being released right around the same time as Spider-Verse did, and how much of a big impact that made.
I know that was a big stink for the longest time, because, like, you probably saw it, but you could not go on Twitter and, like, see a post revolving around Incredibles 2 without seeing that devil-damn gif of Spider-Man giving you the glare.
Yeah. Which I will still say for the record, I mean, from what I remember of it, I still love Spider-Verse.
Well, Spider-Verse
I think I'm due for a revisit.
Oh yeah, Spider-Verse on its own merits is a perfectly fine film. I still think people are a little too defensive over it, but I still think on its own it's a good film.
It is, I mean, you can't argue it's one of the better Spider-Man films out there.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so weird, because, like, I still have a nostalgic attachment for Spider-Man 2, but I will say, like, I guess in terms of, like, objectivity...
I was in a very tight spot there.
that whole generation where like they weren't trying to modernize it. They weren't trying to modernize it too much. So like for instance, like the first Incredible Hulk movie and in the first couple of Spider-Man movies, I think they did a really good job of trying to also emulate the comic book art style.
Well, if you're talking about like the Ang Lee Hulk, yeah, they had like the scenes where you have like random comic book panels appearing. Like that was nice. Like honestly, I feel like that's the only really memorable thing I could think of from the Ang Lee Hulk movie. Well, memorable for the right reasons, anyway.
Right.
Boss time, everybody. So we got this big ol' idlehead with a big ol' schnoz. The only thing you need to worry about is take all the meteorite snot bubbles that pop out of his nose and throw them back at him, and you more or less win the fight. Okay. But also be careful, because that tongue will tear away at all the rock that you're currently standing on.
Yeah, be careful, because it looks like he can destroy the platforms.
Yep. Careful.
That's what I just said.
No,
sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you said damage. You didn't say outright destroy.
In any case.
Well, I mean, it's the same principle.
It's brittling it, but yeah. Just make sure to. Just make sure to.
Damn it.
Oops.
You found the one place you absolutely couldn't jump into. But you just have to make sure to you just need to make sure to beat him as quickly as possible before he breaks too many platforms.
All right. Lay me up those 40 cakes.
40 cakes. That's as many as 4 10s, and that's terrible.
More on that in Wario Land 2. Anyway, we'll be right back.
You'll love this.
So, I can help you with your nasal problem. Just keep spitting that stuff out, and maybe I can actually put all those moon rocks to good use.
You got it.
Like taking you out.
That didn't work out too well.
Why do I suddenly feel a major headache coming on?
Wait, my phone said it's 6 years have passed.
Honestly, we're pretty much at the final stretch in terms of our coin count. Do we want to just go ahead and get it out of the way?
Yeah, let's try it.
Fine.
All right. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, all is fair in love and Wario. Give me the results I want.
That's why.
That's a start. Come on, rake in the mucho box.
Go. Next.
No,
Ow!
Damn.
That didn't happen.
You did see nothing. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're pretty much at the end of the session now, and afterwards we can get our much deserved rest.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not tired per se. I just need to get dinner.
Ow! I just realized I forgot to fucking take care of this. Oh,
Yeah.
I can always speed this up.
Now you go for right again.
There we go. Now we're maxed out.
Was it right every time, actually?
Was it? Well, shit.
Regardless,
Like I said, lefties go home.
Regardless, that's it. Now that we have achieved over 10,000 actual regular coins.
Totally through legitimate means, I assure you.
Now all we gotta do is just collect the last, the second half of the treasures, and then we'll be able to get the best ending.
I mean, now let's stop and think about beyond this little, stupid stunt. Like, all the other times technically was through legitimate means. Again, the debug code is part of the game's programming.
Yeah.
I know. Still cheap, though. I can call it cheap.
Yeah, no, it totally is cheating, and to be fair, it's totally in character for Wario here.
Exactly.
But there you go. We're done with the Stove Canyon.
So, with that all said and done, the Stove Canyon has been liberated, and next time we're going to go on a luxury cruise trip through the SS Teacup.
Oh, wow. The captain's pirate ship is here. Let us take it and leave.
Take the loot and go home. So, yeah, we'll see you all next time.
Yar.
Yai.